A recent revelation paints a vivid picture of the shifting tides in the Donetsk region. Just days ago, Ukraine was liberating village after village, showcasing their resilience and strategy against the Russian offensive. Over 10 days of unwavering determination led to significant gains, including the liberation of Tolst on August 22. Amidst the chaos, Krusk, Rubizn, Novovodian, Petrovka, Vasil, and Zoloty Kolodayas fell back into Ukrainian hands between August 15 and 17. Such rapid successes may seem like a beacon of hope, but beneath the surface lies the stark reality of an ongoing battle. With the city of Pokrovsk as a critical objective for Russia, every liberated village represents a strategic setback for Russian forces, making their grip on the region even more tenuous. Why does capturing Pokrovsk matter so much? Well, this city is the backbone of logistical support for Ukraine's operations in Donbass, essential for reinforcements and supplies. As Russia amassed 110,000 troops to seize this key city, their initial plans began to unravel. The intense fighting has seen Russian forces making significant headway in the surrounding areas, a worrying prelude to what could unfold in Pokrovsk. The front lines are more precarious than ever. Ukrainian media have been sounding alarms about the increasing dangers near Pokrovsk. If Russia succeeds in surrounding this critical hub, the ramifications would be disastrous. Imagine soldiers on the brink, fighting to maintain their positions while knowing any small breach could lead to encirclement. The stakes couldn't be higher. And the question looms, can Ukraine keep holding the line as Russian strategies evolve? As August unfolds, whispers of a multi-front offensive bring a chilling realization: the fight for Pokrovsk may amplify in ferocity. The recent recapture of villages has empowered Ukrainian forces, but will it be enough to counter the Russian offensive? The lines are drawn, but as the dust settles, both sides know that this war is far from over. The battlefield is a harsh teacher, and every change in control sends ripples across the entire region. Which side will harness the chaos to their advantage in this relentless struggle? Keep watching, as the unfolding drama promises to reveal shocking twists ahead. Just 4 days before Ukraine's stunning recapture of 3 villages, a report from Le Monde revealed that Russia's advance toward Pokrovsk had been halted. Ukraine's counterattacks played a crucial role in this shift. However, the threat remains. The Russian army has fortified its positions around Novotroitsk, a strategic point at the base of a salient that allowed them to push into Pokrovsk. Attacks toward Rodinsk have put immense pressure on Ukrainian logistics, which have already suffered from relentless shelling for the past 18 months. The once bustling area, home to 100,000 residents, now lies nearly deserted. But what does this mean for the future of Pokrovsk? Ukraine's recent successes on Independence Day, while significant, do not signal that the battle is won. Commander Oleksandr Syrsky emphasized the ongoing challenges, stating, "The situation is really difficult. The enemy has focused its main efforts on this section of the front. But we have to hold the line. The reality is stark: Pokrovsk is still in peril. Russia's strategy hinges on encircling the city, requiring a constant push for territory. The loss of several villages in a single day forces Russia into a precarious position. Should they attempt to retake these settlements, knowing Ukraine is already fortifying them? Or should they bypass the lost villages to capture others, risking further exposure to Ukrainian defenses? The clock is ticking, and the stakes are higher than ever. As the dust settles from the recent battles, one question looms large: can Russia adapt quickly enough to regain the initiative? Or has Ukraine's bold counteroffensive changed the game entirely? The tension is palpable, and the outcome remains uncertain. With each passing day, the fate of Pokrovsk hangs in the balance, and the world watches closely. As the dust settles on a stunning offensive, Ukraine stands triumphant after reclaiming not just 1, but 4 strategic villages from the grips of Russian forces. Earlier reports revealed Russia's aggressive maneuvers, but surprise has become the name of the game for Ukraine. How could this turnaround happen so swiftly? In an audacious move, Ukrainian troops executed a meticulously planned assault on Novomykhailivka, catching the occupying Russian forces completely off guard. The result? A staggering loss of a full company, up to 250 men, leaving Russia reeling from not just physical losses, but a significant blow to its morale. Imagine the sounds of chaos: the crack of rifles, the roar of heavy machinery, and the cries of soldiers echoing through the dust-laden air. It was not just a battle, it was a calculated symphony of warfare. This careful orchestration involved intelligence units coordinating seamlessly with assault forces and drone operators, turning the once occupied Novomykhailivka into a chilling reminder of war's brutality.
With every inch reclaimed, Ukraine reinforced itself, leaving Russia scrambling to redeploy troops and fortify weakened fronts. But the momentum doesn't stop there. Reports from UAWire highlight an astonishing surge. Over a dozen locations have fallen back into Ukraine's hands in just a matter of days. From August 15 to August 25, those relentless Ukrainian forces have been their relentless selves, reclaiming land with ferocity and precision. Can Russia even hold on to what little territory remains? As they scramble to make sense of this unexpected string of defeats, one question looms large: how much longer can Russia pretend that victory is just around the corner? Yet, these victories are not without their implications. The pressure mounts as Russia seeks to reclaim control in a region that is slipping from their grasp. With Pokrovsk still a coveted prize, Ukraine's operations are becoming increasingly vital. Near the heart of this conflict, will Ukraine's newfound strength be enough to keep Russian ambitions at bay? The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome remains uncertain. What's next in this gripping saga as each side races to seize the upper hand? The battlefield is transforming, and the next chapter is about to unfold. In the previous segment, we explored the tensions escalating near Pokrovsk. With intense battles pursuing the east and west, Russian forces captured key villages, threatening Ukraine's defense. Reports emerged of enemy troops gaining ground in Rodinsk and Bielitsk. Ukrainian commanders expressed their fears about losing logistics support and the potential for encirclement. But now, the tide has shifted dramatically. What if the very strategy that seemed to favor Russian advances became their downfall? Just weeks ago, they executed a delicate dance of small unit infiltrations, spreading pressure across Ukraine's defenses. But as August unfolded, Ukraine launched counteroffensives that caught their adversaries off guard. The atmosphere crackled with tension, the air thick with the scent of gunpowder and the distant echoes of artillery fire. On August 24, a monumental blow was struck. Ukraine reclaimed pivotal territory on its Independence Day, liberating not just one but 4 villages, including the crucial Pokrovsk outskirts. This bold resurgence reverberated far beyond expectations. How could Russia's hard-fought gains dissolve so swiftly? As Commander Oleksandr Syrsky celebrated, he revealed that every reclaimed village punctured a morale-draining wound in Russian strategy. While Ukrainian troops decimated enemy positions, Russia scrambled to respond. The audacity of Ukraine's move created a ripple effect, undermining Russian supply lines and fortifications. Intense fighting unfolded in the skies and fields, with Ukrainian drones droning overhead, mapping the battlefield while ground troops pushed back relentlessly. The stakes grew higher as Ukrainian brigades coordinated an intricate web of assaults, catching enemy forces completely unprepared. Against the backdrop of fluttering flags and sounds of victory, the question loomed: could these 4 liberations signal a turning point, a reshaping of the entire conflict in the region? The answers lie in the delicate balance of power that has shifted with a single, determined push from the heart of Ukraine. As the dust settles from these intense encounters, the challenge remains: can Ukraine sustain this momentum, or will Russia strike back with renewed vigor? The reality hangs in the balance. The fight for Pokrovsk and its surroundings is far from over, and each passing day may reveal deeper layers to this unfolding story of resilience and fire. What a difference a month makes! Just weeks ago, Russia appeared to gain ground in the Donetsk Oblast, capturing villages and penetrating the pivotal city of Pokrovsk. It seemed that Vladimir Putin was on the verge of achieving his long-sought goals. But suddenly, Ukraine struck back. In an electrifying move on August 24, they recaptured Pokrovsk and launched a fierce counteroffensive, stunning the world on Independence Day. Could this turn of events signal a new narrative in the ongoing conflict? Under the cover of night, Ukrainian forces executed a brilliant operation, reclaiming Mykolivka, Green Grove, and Volodymyrivka. As their commander-in-chief, Oleksandr Syrsky, shared the exhilarating news on social media, the excitement was palpable. "Our troops have launched a successful counteroffensive," he declared. But how did they manage this dramatic reversal? Reports suggest that various military units, including the 68th Jaeger Brigade and the 25th Air Assault Brigade, played critical roles, though the details of the strategy remain shrouded in mystery. The whispers of disbelief were everywhere. How could Russia let these key villages slip through its fingers? Dive deeper into the battlefield chaos, and the stakes become clearer. Each village is more than just land, they're strategic points that put pressure on Pokrovsk, Ukraine's vital logistics hub. Imagine the overwhelmed defenders, the sounds of gunfire echoing as Ukrainian soldiers push back against their nemesis.
The liberation of these villages not only thwarts Russian progress but also re-establishes a line of defense crucial for Ukraine's survival.
Are Putin's ambitions crumbling?
The recent losses are biting for Russia.
The capture of Novomykhailivka came with a shocking toll: over 100 soldiers vanquished, leaving the Russians scrambling.
The scent of desperation hangs in the air as they redeploy, creating vulnerabilities in other areas.
Can the beleaguered Russian forces withstand further Ukrainian advances?
For the soldiers on the front lines, the tension is palpable, the stakes building ever higher. As the dust settled, the numbers revealed the full impact of Ukraine's operations, for liberated villages in a short span. This resurgence poses a significant dilemma for Russia, which had committed a staggering 110,000 troops to try to seize Pokrovsk.
The battle for this city now hangs in balance. Ukraine knows it's not just about holding territory, it's about cutting off the enemy's momentum. With renewed vigor, the Ukrainian armed forces may just have sparked the flame of a far-reaching strategy to reclaim their homeland. Will they be able to capitalize on this momentum and force a new chapter in this brutal conflict? The echoes of war grow louder. In a dramatic twist of fate, the battlefield landscape in Ukraine has shifted dramatically in just a month.
Back in August, Russia appeared to be gaining ground in the Donetsk Oblast, with villages falling and the strategic city of Pokrovsk seemingly within reach.
But on August 24, everything changed. Ukraine launched a stunning counteroffensive, reclaiming Pokrovsk and sending shockwaves through Russian ranks. How did this happen on such a significant day, Ukraine's Independence Day?
The Kyiv Independent reported that Ukrainian forces executed a remarkable operation, liberating 3 villages, Mykhailivka, Green Grove, and Volodymyrivka.
Commander Oleksandr Syrsky took to social media, expressing gratitude to the brave soldiers who turned the tide.
But what's the real story behind these victories? The details remain murky, with no clear indication of which units were involved. Yet, the Ukrainian Navy confirmed that the 1st Marine Battalion played a crucial role in liberating Zeleny High, a village just 60 miles from Donetsk.
This unexpected turnaround is a severe blow to Putin's ambitions.
Russia had invested heavily in capturing these villages, only to see them slip away. The loss of these territories not only undermines Russian morale but also complicates their strategy in the region.
As Ukraine continues to push back, the question looms: can they maintain this momentum, or will Russia regroup and retaliate? The liberation of Novomykhailivka just days prior showcased Ukraine's tactical prowess.
Caught off guard, Russian forces suffered significant losses,
with reports indicating a full company wiped out. This raises a chilling question: how many more villages can Ukraine reclaim before Russia can mount a counteroffensive?
As the dust settles, the situation in Pokrovsk becomes increasingly precarious for Russia.
With each village liberated, Ukraine strengthens its position, making it harder for Russia to achieve its goal of capturing Pokrovsk.
The stakes are higher than ever, and the battlefield is alive with tension.
Will Ukraine's recent victories lead to a decisive shift in the war, or will Russia find a way to turn the tide back in its favor?
The answer lies in the coming days, as both sides prepare for what could be a pivotal moment in this ongoing conflict. In the previous segment, we explored the uncertainty surrounding Ukraine's liberation of 3 villages, with Commander Syrsky revealing little about the specific units involved.
Yet, the tides of war are shifting dramatically. What if I told you that the very fabric of the battlefield is unraveling for Russia?
Commander Syrsky visited various units, including the 68th Jaeger Brigade and the 25th Air Assault Brigade, hinting at a coordinated effort behind the scenes.
But the real game-changer?
The Ukrainian Navy confirmed that the 1st Marine Battalion of the 37th Marine Brigade played a pivotal role in liberating Zeleny High. This village, just 60 miles from the occupied city of Donetsk, symbolizes a significant breach in Russian lines. Imagine the shockwaves rippling through the Russian command as they realize their grip on the region is slipping.
The liberation of these villages is not just a tactical victory, it's a psychological blow to Putin's ambitions in Donetsk. Each village captured by Russia was meant to fortify their position, creating a relentless advance into Ukrainian territory.
Yet, in a stunning twist, Ukraine has snatched back 3 villages, leaving Russia reeling.
Can you hear the echoes of despair in the Russian ranks?
If only it were just 3, they must be thinking, as the reality of their losses sinks in.
But the story doesn't end there.
Just as Ukraine celebrates these victories, they also retook Novomykhailivka, catching Russian forces off guard. This surprise assault resulted in the loss of an entire company of Russian troops. Picture the chaos as Ukrainian soldiers stormed in, turning the village into a graveyard for their adversaries. The stakes are rising, and the battlefield is becoming a deadly chessboard where every move counts. As we delve deeper, we uncover a pattern. Ukraine has been systematically reclaiming territory, pushing back against Russian advances. Reports indicate that in just 10 days, Ukrainian forces have liberated numerous locations, including Tolst and Hruzk.
The momentum is shifting, and the question looms, can Russia maintain its hold on the territory it has gained?
With each village liberated, the pressure mounts on Russian forces, especially around the strategic city of Pokrovsk.
This city is not just a point on the map, it's a vital logistics hub for Ukraine.
As Ukraine fortifies its defenses, the risk of encirclement for Russian troops grows.
The battle for Pokrovsk is intensifying, and the outcome could redefine the conflict. Will Russia adapt, or will they falter under the weight of their own ambitions?
The next chapter is about to unfold, and the stakes have never been higher. August ushered in a tense atmosphere in the Donetsk Oblast. Russian forces appeared to be on the offensive, capturing villages and penetrating deep into the region. But just as everyone thought the momentum was in Russia's favor, everything changed.
Ukraine launched a stunning counterattack, reclaiming Pokrovsk on its Independence Day and sending shockwaves through enemy ranks.
But why is Pokrovsk, just one city, so crucial that it sparked this fierce battle?
Looking deeper, it becomes clear. Pokrovsk is more than just a geographical point, it's a vital logistical hub. Picture a bustling road and rail junction, a lifeline for Ukrainian forces.
Without it, the entirety of the Donbass front would be compromised, leaving troops vulnerable to Russian advances. Imagine supplies rolling in and the wounded being evacuated. All of this is tethered to the fate of this single city. Yet, Russia, which has poured troops and resources into capturing Pokrovsk, may find its efforts futile.
But wait, what's the plan now? As Ukraine fortifies its defenses, Russian troops are caught in a dilemma. Should they attempt to retake these lost villages, knowing the risks? Or should they divert their efforts to other targets, facing the hard truth that every inch lost may lead to bigger problems down the line? The conflict unfolds on multiple levels, with each move echoing across the battlefield. It's a high-stakes game of cat and mouse.
Russia's initial advances were aggressive, yet the unexpected bravery and resolve shown by Ukrainian forces have flipped the tables. With every village recaptured, the encroaching sense of dread deepens within Russian ranks. Analysts argue that the loss of Pokrovsk could spell disaster for Russia's strategy in the region, exposing their supply lines to devastating counterattacks.
And now, the question looms large: can Russia regroup and reassess, or is the window for reclaiming its former positions closing?
With every passing moment, the conflict escalates, tensions rise, and the fight for control becomes a race against time.
What will happen next in this relentless struggle?
The battlefield remains alive with uncertainty, and the stakes have never been higher.
Will either side find a path to claim victory, or will the battle for Pokrovsk become a haunting reminder of the costs of war? The Russian noose was tightening around Pokrovsk.
Their infiltration units had broken into the city itself, and a 6-mile salient threatened a full encirclement.
But a desperate race began. Could Ukraine possibly choke off that Russian spearhead before more forces flooded through the gap? They could. And they did.
Ukrainian forces masterfully encircled the Russian salient inside Pokrovsk, turning the invaders' own tactic against them. This victory was monumental, but the near disaster exposed a terrifying truth.
Ukraine's one major tactical blunder, letting Russia seize the surrounding villages, had almost cost them the entire city. Every captured hamlet gave Putin's forces another card to play in their deadly game of encirclement. Now, the liberation of those 4 villages, Mykhailivka, Selenia High, Volodymyrivka, and the earlier retaking of Novomykhailivka, is Ukraine furiously correcting its mistake. But what does this stunning reversal actually mean on the ground? The answer lies to the south of Pokrovsk. Each reclaimed village shatters a piece of the Russian circle, buying the city's defenders priceless breathing room. The very strategy that nearly doomed Ukraine is now crumbling under its counterblows. And the ripple effects are staggering. This relentless campaign to take back what's theirs has completely stalled Russia's summer offensive. Their momentum is broken. Their casualties are catastrophic. But the real question is, just how far can Ukraine push this advantage? And what desperate move will a cornered Vladimir Putin make next? What if I told you that a single day could shift the fate of an entire region?
Just last month, Russia seemed poised on the brink of victory in Donetsk Oblast, capturing key territories with fierce offensives. The city of Pokrovsk had been infiltrated, and success for Vladimir Putin felt inevitable. But in a jaw-dropping twist, the tides have turned. On August 24, as the nation celebrated its Independence Day, Ukraine launched a counteroffensive, reclaiming lost ground. Desperate cries of Ukrainian soldiers echoed through the war-torn fields as they asserted dominance over the Russian front. The commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces, Oleksandr Syrsky, took to social media to unveil an astonishing achievement. A coordinated effort had liberated 3 villages, Mykolivka, Green Grove, and Volodymyrivka, from the grips of occupation. Our troops have successfully counterattacked, Syrsky declared, showing gratitude to the fearless warriors who pushed through the chaos. The reclaiming of these villages sent shockwaves through Russian ranks, proving that hope was not lost. But there's more to the story. United 24 media reported that specifics of the tactical maneuver remain shrouded in mystery. Syrsky did not disclose which units spearheaded the counterattack, but multiple brigades were reportedly involved, showcasing a united front against oppression. How, in such a compressed timeline, did they manage to reclaim what was once lost? Meanwhile, the liberation of Zeleny High marked a significant advancement south of Pokrovsk, nearly 60 miles from the occupied city of Donetsk. This single event could alter Russia's ambitions for complete territorial control. Imagine the desperation on the Russian side, knowing the very villages they sacrificed countless lives for had slipped through their fingers. They must be questioning their strategies as the situation worsens. What will be their next move? As the battles intensified, a surge in Ukrainian victories began to emerge. Reports revealed the reclaiming of Novomykolivka, where a surprise assault led to substantial Russian troop losses. Could this mean that the defense lines established earlier in the summer are beginning to break? The shock throughout the Russian command must resonate deeply as they try to maintain their grasp amidst chaos. In addition to recent liberations, intelligence from the Deep State organization showed that Ukraine has been on an offensive for over a week, embracing numerous villages around Pokrovsk. With territorial gains spanning from August 15 to August 25, many in the region are left asking, how can Russia hold this ground when Ukraine fights so fiercely to reclaim its home? The stakes are higher than ever as Ukrainian forces push relentlessly to strengthen their position against Russian encroachment. With every village retaken, the ever-elusive capture of Pokrovsk seems to slip further from Russia's grasp. Will they consolidate their forces in a desperate bid to retain what little control they have left, or will the wind of change sweep through Donetsk, heralding an unexpected victory for those who stand for freedom? The outcome is uncertain. But one thing is crystal clear: the struggle for Donetsk is far from over. In the previous segment, we explored how Ukraine's recent counterattacks have shattered the illusion of Russian dominance in the Donbass. The liberation of villages has not only bolstered Ukraine's defenses but also kept the crucial city of Pokrovsk safe for now. But the stakes are rising. Can Ukraine maintain this momentum and push Russian forces back, or will the tide turn once more? As the dust settles from the fierce battles, the question looms: what will happen next? The arrival of a new U.S. weapon could be a game-changer. This advanced technology promises to transform the battlefield, turning the Russian front into a deadly kill zone. Imagine the sound of artillery echoing through the valleys, the ground trembling beneath the weight of heavy machinery, and the air thick with the tension of impending conflict. With this new weapon, Ukraine's chances of defending Pokrovsk are looking brighter. But will it be enough to repel the relentless Russian offensive? The clock is ticking, and every moment counts. As Ukraine prepares for the next phase of its defense, the world watches with bated breath. Will this be the turning point that finally tips the scales in favor of Ukraine, or will Russia find a way to regroup and strike back harder than ever? Stay tuned, as the unfolding drama in the Donbass promises to reveal shocking twists and unexpected turns. The fate of Pokrovsk, and perhaps the entire region, hangs in the balance.